What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I sat down to put together kind of a consolidated run through of the upcoming changes to characters that I thought were really important. Characters that have high utility value that are used a lot throughout the game. There are many other changes coming, but I thought these were really the ones that were important and people would probably be looking to get information on. When I ran through and put all 7 characters down into a video, the video was somewhere in like the 22-23 minute range, and I just thought it was too long. So I'm going to break it up into 2 different sections here. I'm going to start with Black Widow, then Doctor Strange, Hulk, and Punisher, and then we'll finish up the next video with Scarlet Witch, Thor, and Winter Soldier. The first character that I wanted to talk about is Black Widow. Black Widow is getting a nerf. You can argue to what degree she is getting a nerf, but it is a nerf nonetheless. Her signature ability allows her to work around other opponents' abilities, such as the classic one is Spider-Man. Spider-Man has evade. With Black Widow, she can get up to a percentage in her awakening ability where Spider-Man could not evade her. A lot of the Thorns nodes she could work around if she was, a high sig level. But now that percentage of her being able to, work around Spider-Man's evade or work around Electro's damage for doing, physical damage to him, that is being reduced significantly. So if you previously had a Black Widow that was a high enough signature level that you were running at 100% chance to avoid those abilities, that is getting nerfed all the way down to 70%. Currently, my Black Widow is only like a signature level, I think like 8 or 9, something like that. So I never was really running with a high level one, but I know Black Widow was very, very popular in Alliance Wars and Alliance quests for a long, long time because of her ability to get around. Specifically, Spider-Man and Electro were really the 2 biggest ones there. So going from 100% down to 70, I mean 70 is still a very high percentage chance, but it is really nothing in comparison to what it once was. Doctor Strange is the second one I wanted to look at. His nerf is a little bit different. As you are, I'm sure, fully aware, he's got his 3 different cycles that he goes through, and as up to the patch, it's always been each cycle is 7 seconds. So you get the 7 seconds of armor, followed by the 7 seconds of fury, followed by the 7 seconds of regen, and they are actually pushing that from 7 seconds up to 9 seconds, which may seem like somewhat of a buff. More time to do fury damage, more time to do regen damage. But the big thing here has to do with his regen. And what's the best way for me to explain this? The more damage that you do, the more regen you get back. What they are doing now is it's just becoming a flat health recovery, which you can read there for each landed attack. So every time that you are hitting an opponent, during the regen cycle, let's say it's a 100 health that you're getting back, regardless whether you're hitting with a light attack, a medium attack, a heavy attack, and I'm assuming special attacks as well, you are only getting a flat health recovery from that. Which it'll be interesting to see if that addition of the 2 seconds, bumping it up to 9 seconds, if players are able to compensate and get more attacks in to somewhat nullify that. But overall, you are looking at a little bit of a nerf there. I would debate that a little bit, and I could see people's points of view if they want to say, well, it is a buff in that regard, but it's a nerf in that regard. But it's actually a little bit of a buff in the fact that you're going to be in your perfect block cycle longer, and you're going to be in your fury cycle longer. So that's kind of a mixed bag there. I'm not really sure how to feel about that one at this point. Looks like a little bit of a nerf to me, though. Next is Hulk, and I'm really excited about this one. Hulk is such a cool character in the Marvel universe, and he's just supposed to be this, just mashing, ferocious, unstoppable character, and he has never felt like that. the way to best use Hulk is basically to get hit to the point where you're almost dead. And then as you're getting hit, he is triggering his Fury, and his signature ability was allowing him to do more damage, the less health he had. And it just felt weird, when I go in and I want to fight, I don't want to be taking damage. I want to do everything I can to keep from, getting debuff effects, or I don't want to worry about any of that. I just want to focus on doing damage when I'm playing with the Hulk. And it really looks like that they have nailed this, at least on paper. And finally, they're changing the animation for his special attack 1. I'm really excited. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm really happy to see that they have been listening to the community there. Also, in addition to that, his Fury chance, he has a chance to get Fury based upon the damage he is doing, and also damage he is receiving now, which is great. That Fury increases the lower the Hulk's health is, which is really cool. Hulk now triggers Fury when attacking. I just said that. Special attacks now have a chance to stun the opponent. I mean, Hulk is looking like legit. I mean, I've got him at 440 right now. I mean, strongly thinking about taking him up to 550, especially with these tickets that we're going to get to take down some characters. I may be looking to move some of my science catalysts over into Hulk. When brought below 25%, Hulk now gains a massive Fury effect. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I mean, he already has a signature ability where he does a ton more damage. So I don't know if that's like something akin to like Iron Man when he gets to a percentage, he kicks in his regen. If when you get to the 25% health, some sort of a timed Fury pops up for a couple of seconds. But that'll be really, really cool to play around with. Super excited to play with him. I think more so than any other character on here. Punisher is the next skill character here we're going to look at, and very happy to see that finally, after all this time, they are taking a second look at Punisher. For as rare as a character as he is, and as difficult as he is to get, you would think that he would be useful in some way, but as up to this point, he's absolutely useless. I was very fortunate, and I pulled him way back in the day. I mean, I was so new into the game that when I pulled him and ranked him up, he was my profile picture for a couple of weeks. And I have been fortunate enough to pull him twice since then. So my Punisher is actually at Awakened level 40. It looks to me like and I'll get to Winter Soldier later, but they're really trying to separate the Punisher and Winter Soldier characters out. And I didn't think they were going to take him this direction, but it really looks like Punisher is going to be very much a bleed damage character, which I find kind of interesting. I mean, it says there Special 2 now causes bleed, new animations for Special 1 and 2, which is really cool. But it says new ability bleed on all attacks. So I don't know if he's going to have some sort of weapon that he's using, maybe like a knife. I find it kind of odd that he would just be punching and creating bleed damage. So that'll be kind of cool to see if they add something kind of like they did to Drax back in the day when they gave him his knives. But attacking an opponent that is bleeding has a chance to trigger an additional bleed effect. Basically, you're just stacking a bleed effect akin to like a Black Panther. But his new ability that's going to kind of coincide with that is this open wound. It's a passive effect, which the first time I read it, I was a little bit confused, but let me just read it for you and I'll try to explain it. When the bleed from this attack expires, it has a percentage, and it doesn't give it, but it has a percentage chance to be converted into an open wound. An open wound counts as a stack of bleed, but is a passive and deals no damage. So basically, every time a bleed effect that you've put on an enemy expires, there is a chance that it will be converted into an open wound. I don't know what that chance is, if that will be high or low. But the big thing is, it does not tell you what this open wound does. I'm assuming that it probably, if I had to guess, is going to increase the bleed damage, or maybe increase the overall damage that the character is taking if they have open wound on them. The thing that they do not explain here is whether or not open wounds stacks. That would be kind of cool if you're if you've got your bleeds going on and your open wound stacks that you're constantly kind of trying to build up on the character, and as you're building them up, you're increasingly doing more damage. Really kind of a neat idea. Very excited to see kind of how that's going to work out. Lastly, also has physical resistance as a passive. Basically, he's going to start with 2 stacks of physical resistance at the start of a fight, and basically each time he gets hit, he's going to lose those. So, a lot of changes there to Punisher. Very excited to see what's going on with him when that comes out. Alright, that concludes our look here at the first 4 characters that I wanted to cover. I will be getting another video out soon covering the next 3, which again is Scarlet Witch, Winter Soldier, and Thor. Thanks guys, have a great day.